What's up, guys? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. We're here today with Amber. Like I said, every other week we're going to kind of cycle through people. So I'll do a live video by myself, sometimes with Amber, and then every other week it will be with Brandon from Brandon's Garage and David from DBM Racing. But as usual, guys, welcome back to Corvette Weekly, where we discuss everything and anything Corvette. As usual, this show is provided to you by the good folks right here over at the NCM Insurance or National Corvette Museum Insurance. Go to their website, which you can find in the description down below, and apply for a quote. So basically, regardless of what kind of car you have, they insure everything, not just Corvettes. And every time we talk about this, we always talk about how some of you guys have saved upwards of 50% with car insurance. So be sure to check out the description. And on step number 5, put in that you heard about us from Horsepower Obsessed for the best possible rate. And yeah, check them out. Doesn't cost you anything. Doesn't hurt your credit score. It's literally completely free to check it out. You might as well see if there's any money to save. On that note, guys, we are going to be talking a lot about the ZR1 and the E-Ray tonight because that's the hot news, the hot ticket items right now in the Corvette world. But I just want to say hi to everybody real quick. We got John Perkins in the house, Ronald Jackson, Texas Clay, NBA Live, Randy Moore, that Corvette guy. Gotta love that name. New Horizon, what's up, man? Yep, he says, what's up, everybody? Looking forward to a good stream. We're all looking forward to a good stream. I liked what Paul LaMonaco said up here earlier. He said, hey, Amber and Justin, another Vet-tastic Monday. Yeah, I like that. People are starting to like Mondays as much as I am, it seems, because it kind of starts the news week for the Corvette community, and I like it. Omid, what's up? Mark Cutsy, aloha. How's the weather down there, buddy? It's not so great here. It's what was it, like 94 degrees today here in Pennsylvania. It's funny because it's hotter in PA right now than it is in Florida, which is crazy. Meme Peterson says, always look forward to HPO on Mondays. Heck yeah, man. Steven Risha, how you doing? John Perkins, I think I already mentioned him, but you got 2 mentions today, John. Keith French, Matt Hurley, yeah, he says, hit those thumbs ups. That's a great point, Matt. Let's, guys, as usual, we want to hit 100 thumbs ups by 8 o'clock, which is about half an hour from now. So if you could please smash the thumbs up button. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
I don't like those thumbs up.
Oh, we had some fireworks going that time, though. I'll take it. Guys, smash the thumbs up button. It really helps the channel, and it helps let us know we're doing the right things here. So, Dave says, I like Vet Mondays, too.
Elijah. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Elijah's in the house.
Good for me?
Yo.
Matrix?
Vetamily. I mean, I know what you're trying to say, but that's hard to say. 11-second Eclipse. Guys, we got to take a second and acknowledge the fact that 11-second Eclipse is no longer an 11-second Eclipse. He is now a 10-second Z06. Are you going to change the name? You going to change the name, man? Yeah, so guys, let's give a big round of applause, big thumbs up to 11-second Eclipse. Just picked up his brand new C8 Corvette Z06. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty.
What color?
Black. And he has it stealth wrapped with yellow racing stripes. The thing's gorgeous.
He already has it stealth
wrapped,
but too.
No longer is he at 11 seconds. He is a 10-second man now. And he's got a car after my own heart. It's beautiful. Man, I know I have some pictures, but they're in my text message. If you can, 11-second Eclipse, if you have a second, shoot me some pictures. He is going to change his name. Good. Shoot me some pictures to my email if you can. I'll show them up on the live video here because I know I have them in my email or my text messaging, but I can't get them on the feed here.
What's up, David? DBM Racing's on.
Yeah. All right. So AARPM says he saw it on Conti's show. That's awesome. Yeah. Just so happened to be that Rick Conti was down there whenever he was taking delivery at the museum. But guys, gorgeous, gorgeous car. He is now going to be 10-second Z06. That's it. I knew it. I knew it. Whenever I said it, I was kind of joking, but at the same time, I was like, we don't need an 11-second Eclipse anymore. We want a 10-second Z06. Yeah. All right. So
Larry Anthony's on.
Larry Anthony, how you doing? He says, congrats, 11-second. Enjoy your new car. Absolutely, guys. So Larry Anthony has a Z06 as well. Obviously, I do. We know what kind of car 11-second eclipse just got, and he's going to absolutely enjoy every second of it.
Hey, Aaron. ARPM's on.
Yep.
Aaron's on.
Yep. Aaron's in the house. DBM Racing, of course. David's in here.
Whip Reynolds.
He says, "Hey, Justin and Amber." Whip Reynolds. Man, we got all the guys coming out tonight. I like it. All right, so
I'm missing Shane though.
Yeah, Shane.
He's probably working like he did.
I was gonna say Shane's such a freaking. Or no. He's on the route.
Oh, that's Route
66 trip. Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So Shane's actually doing a pretty big like tour, I guess. So
west, I think.
Yeah, it's a Route 66 trip. He with his daughter, so he will not be on tonight. But anyway, guys, that doesn't stop us from wanting those thumbs ups though. So smash the thumbs up. Let's get to 100 by 8 o'clock tonight. That's 22 minutes from now.
Did you move that?
Nice. LT4 said he went past the HPO headquarters about 4:45 and honked.
Yeah, we heard you. Just kidding. I would have been.
I was gonna say I'm not sure if I heard it or not. I hear a lot of people honking out there all day. 2020 Matrix 8 says, "Hey, 11-second. Make sure you throw some high flow cats on that thing ASAP." Yeah, guys, if I know I've told you this before, but I like to reiterate things on the live videos and even in regular videos a lot, because a lot of times people seem like they don't see everything. But the high flow cats and the Eventuri intake together really, really, really wake up the Z06. And that's really saying something, because the car isn't exactly a slouch from factory. But when you put those two things on, it is a totally different machine. Bill Miller's in the house.
Bill Miller.
Meat says Shane's on his trip. Yep, he definitely is. It's going to be awesome for him. Bill says he's loving the heat here in the Berg. I don't know, man. It's a little much. It might be a little too much. Like I said, it's hotter here than it is in Florida. It makes no sense. All right, so
hey, Great White North Corvette. Andrew's on.
Yes, he is. Oh, Eric Bush, awesome. I did 2 thumbs ups. Had to log out and log back in. I appreciate that, Eric. Thank you. So, guys, yeah, DBM Racing says, and install those cats David/Brandon style, which means one of you have to be in the trunk the entire time. Like climb into the trunk and sit in there.
Exactly.
I have pictures. I have the pictures to prove that Brandon was in that trunk for a good amount of time.
He just fits so good in there, though. I mean,
I was gonna say I kind of thought about actually
uncomfortable.
I kind of thought about keeping him in there. Let me see. I think I might.
I think we do.
I think I might have a picture of him in there. I'm gonna have to throw it up here if I do. Man, I have too many pictures. That's the problem here.
There it is.
Oh, yep, I do. Okay, so let's throw this up on the screen. Yeah, there he is.
There he is. He's in the trunk.
Yeah. All right, here it is, guys. So, of course, you gotta love the hard work and dedication of the horsepower pit crew, which you guys have affectionately coined the group of me, Brandon, and David. We are the horsepower pit crew, and here is what 66% of the horsepower pit crew. 33% of them are literally sitting in the trunk. 33% is wrenching on the car, and the other 33 is behind the camera. So,
hey, Lindsay Hurley's on.
Oh wow, well, we got both Hurleys.
Scroll up. She was just right there. Go up.
Yep.
Right there.
Yeah, we do. We got both Hurleys in the house tonight, guys. That deserves some thumbs ups. Yeah, it's too hot. It's too hot.
What is it in Georgia right now? What's the weather in Georgia, David?
That's a good question, because I know in Florida it's actually cooler than it is here, which is weird. DBM Racing says that's not the first time Brandon's been in the trunk. LOL. That's funny.
It's like a perfect size for him, though. He fits right in there, and that'd be uncomfortable.
Yep, Mark Cutsy nailed it on the head here. He says Corvette engineers created the C8 trunk to fit 2 golf bags or a Brandon. Yeah, that wing. It's rough. Whenever you're doing anything in the engine bay or the trunk area, that wing is like jabbing you in the ribs. It's not great.
You can barely even open up the trunk hatch before you nip your finger.
Yeah, there's much
barely any room between the.
All right, guys. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna actually talk a little bit about some news. I like to get that out of the way first, and then we can kind of just do the hangout from here.
Ooh, Atlanta said, Jeremy says it's 96. Keep it down there.
It's coming here this week.
Yeah, we're supposed to hit 97, I think, on Thursday. And then next week it's going to be in the 70s and 80s again.
Actually, you know what? I just noticed. I don't know if he's in here, but Rob is standing there too. Was he in here with his?
I didn't see him.
Was it Hillary?
I
Yeah.
didn't see Rob or Hillary on.
Yeah. Well, if he's on here, if you watch this later, Rob, comment and say that you saw yourself because you're standing in the picture over there on the right.
I think Hillary's right behind him too.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. So yeah, if you're watching this after the fact, comment down and let me know that you saw that. Anyway, guys, let's move on to a little bit of news because I know that's why a lot of you guys are here, and I want to talk about that before a bunch of people skedaddle. So,
Before they scoot.
again, guys, let's smash the thumbs up button. Where are we at? Looks like we are at 68. We need 32 more in the next 17 minutes to hit our goal of 100 by 8. So, thumbs up if you can. Let's see. Somewhere. There it is. There's the fireworks. All right, guys. So, smash the thumbs up. Make the fireworks happy. And let's talk about a little bit of news here. So, the very first thing we're going to talk about before we get into the news is the new Corvette giveaway. So, in the description down below, right around the time you'll find the National Corvette Museum Insurance, you're going to also see the new giveaway, which is, of course, a 2024 Corvette Z06 with the Z07 performance package. Now, the interesting thing about this one is this is a ceramic matrix gray car, which is a color you can no longer get. So check it out. You actually get 50% additional entries just for purchasing it from the link in the description down below. So when you go to buy your normal 18 entries, you're actually going to get 9 for free. So 25 bucks gives you a good chance of winning a C8 Corvette Z06. And even if you don't win, it does benefit a good cause.
So if you say you do win, you put 25, 50 bucks, 100 bucks in. Well, if you win that, do you have to pay the taxes on it? Or do you know what happens with that?
yeah, I think there is a tax
Okay.
implication, but
Hey, that's
it's a lot less
compared
than what
to
I was going to say.
the
It's a lot less
cost.
than what the car costs. So again, guys, check out the link in the description down below. You can read about all the features from the car, but it's a pretty nice spec. Obviously, it's a Z07 ceramic matrix gray, which, like I said, you can't get anymore. So
What do you think about those running stripes? Those like
some
racing stripes.
sometimes I like racing stripes, sometimes I don't. I'm actually going to show
Would you have put black racing stripes on that, matte black racing stripes instead of red? I think I would have done
yeah.
black.
Well, I mean, it has
Well, it
red,
has the red
yeah.
interior though too.
So I'm going to show 11 Second Eclipse's car here in a second. He has stripes on his, and I think they look
Mm.
pretty good. So, but anyway, guys, check out the link in the description down below. Try to win a Z06. Let's talk a little news here before we get into 11 Second Eclipse's car. The very first thing I want to talk about is the fact that over at the Corvette blogger, they started talking about the fact that the assembly plant, the parking lot's getting full again. If you guys remember, the last time this happened, the lot was full of Z06s that were basically, I'd say 99% complete, but they were waiting for something, some part. They never officially said what part they were waiting for, but it was very likely carbon fiber. In this case, these are all E-Rays now, and they're all adding up on the lot. So the plant is producing E-Rays, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, that they're finally starting to produce some E-Rays, but they're adding up on the lot and they're not being delivered because there's a part missing. In this case with the E-Ray, the last time we talked about constraints on ordering, we talked about the fact that the carbon ceramic rotors were on constraints. So I think that might be what's holding these cars up. Everything else is done. The car's 99% done, but there's no carbon ceramic rotors, which I think would actually be kind of interesting because they're moving these cars out into the lot without any rotors. I feel like that might be dangerous, but I could be wrong. But either way, they're very likely waiting for a part. Now, the Corvette blogger goes on to say that, you know, they're waiting for something. They don't really speculate what part it is that they could be waiting for, but it is what's happening here is all E-Rays stacking up.
Is it standard to have carbon ceramic rotors on Z06 and E-Ray?
No, just
Okay,
E-Ray.
so you have to pay extra for that package, or is that part of the Z07 package?
It's part of the Z07 package, but you do pay extra for it on the Z06. You can get iron rotors on a Z06, but not on an E-Ray. The E-Ray comes standard with the carbon ceramic rotors. So David is letting everybody know you guys want to smash that thumbs up button, but what do you guys think? The E-Ray kind of piling up, we'll say, at the plant. What do you guys think? What's the reason? What's it waiting for? What parts are waiting for on the E-Ray?
Darren Burnett's on. Hey, what's up, Darren?
94 here yesterday. Eric, yeah.
Is Darren Burnett in Florida? Is
No,
that where he lives?
he's the one in Tennessee.
Oh, he's in Tennessee also? Okay.
Jim, it's probably not the seatbelt recall. That should already be built into what they're doing, as far as parts are concerned. I guess it could be the actual seatbelt itself.
Oh,
but
North Corvette says waiting on batteries.
See, I thought that too. It could be a battery thing. It could be the seatbelt thing, but the seatbelt recall didn't affect very many people. It was kind of one of those things that it was very, very few. So I feel like if they're producing those E-Rays now, it really shouldn't be something that they're still.
Do you think they'll eventually say what it is that they were waiting on?
I don't. They usually don't, but
I mean, that's a lot of cars just chilling.
Yeah. Well, nonetheless, even if it is a battery, computer chip, rotors, whatever it is, the cars are. Ronald Jackson says double A batteries. Yeah. Let me see where we're at.
Didn't they have computer chip issues before?
Oh yeah, there's been
one of them.
There's been computer chips issues ever since COVID.
Didn't GM shut down for a bit because the computer chip?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, the
seatbelt missing owners.
Seatbelt recall or brakes. Yeah, the owners are missing. Software. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff it could be. We got 86 thumbs ups, guys. Yeah, we need 14 more in the next 12 minutes. So it's about 1 a minute. You guys can do that. You guys can easily do that. Here's what they look like in case you forgot.
Please, guys, hit the thumbs up so I don't gotta keep seeing this.
Yeah, Amber doesn't like that
I don't
animation.
like those thumbs up. David, we gotta thank David for taking over Shane's spot tonight. He's keeping up on the thumbs up.
Yeah, he is. Thanks, David.
Bill Miller.
Yeah, Corvette guy says, like you said, I can't see them pushing the cars out of the plant with no brakes installed. Yeah, it would be weird, but it'd be kind of fun, just see what happens.
Just maybe right back into the other one, right?
Yeah.
No big deal.
Dallas carbon ceramic rotor as they're not on constraint for this. Oh, okay. Well, they were last order cycle, so maybe they are finally up and running. But that might still be something that's affecting the cars that they just haven't. We don't know how long those have been actually sitting there. So, yeah, that's rough. Jamie says it was 94 here, and I had to do yard work today. Nope. Amber was smart. She did all
Saturday,
all the stuff on Saturday because it was only like
72 or something.
Yeah, it was real nice.
Definitely not. I'll pass.
All right, so where are we at with the thumbs ups? Oh, we're at 101. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
101 thumbs ups, guys. Thank you so much. Let's try to hit 200 by 8:30, which is 40 minutes from now. That's pretty good. Yeah, 11-second clips. I'm gonna see what happens kind of guy. I mean, obviously, if you're pushing around a car that doesn't have brakes on it, we have a pretty good idea of what's gonna happen. But let's just see. Let's see what happens.
Do you think by next week you're gonna have that to 10-second Z06? You have your name changed?
Yeah. When's the change happening?
Yeah, curious. He'll have it by next.
It's gonna be jarring as heck because I'm so used to seeing 11-second clips. Let me check my email. It looks like I might have a couple pictures in there apparently.
Oh, he did a museum delivery too. Oh, dang, that looks good.
All right, guys. So here is 11-second eclipses.
Nice. He got the carbon ceramic or the
carbon fiber wheels.
Carbon fiber wheels.
He went all out on this.
Holy smokes!
I'm pretty sure he checked every single possible box.
Those yellow accents look good.
Yes, they do.
Black and yellow.
Yep.
That's the Pittsburgh Steelers colors up here. Black and yellow.
Yay!
You like Packers?
Yeah, not a Steelers guy. All right, so this build is interesting for 11-second eclipse because number one, it's a black car, but he has it stealth wrapped. So obviously,
did he get it stealth wrapped from the factory? Like, no. I mean, that guy that's on site.
Yeah, on site. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Good work. Keep those thumbs ups coming. Heck yeah, David. Look at you, man. What a universally awesome guy.
David, are you working tonight?
I was gonna say Shane can't be on here because he's on the Route 66 trip, but David's in the middle of heart surgery and he's like,
he's probably in the operating room right now. But wait, just give me 1 second. I gotta just type something out here. Underground Riptiles. Sorry about that.
Wheeler O'Hara says, hello, everyone. It's been a while since I've been on here. Been able to make it on the show. Got my number called for the Z06, but I had to pass. for the last 24 to buy more time to save. Slim Champs, I'll have it together for 25. It's nice to see you, Wheeler. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry to hear that you had to pass on it, but it doesn't really matter when you buy the car. You're going to love it just as much, whether it's day one or the last day.
Let's see the rest of those pictures of his car.
Yeah. So, guys,
See the other ones.
11-second eclipse.
Wow.
There it is on the actual Corvette alley.
You know what would look nice?
Boulevard.
If he blacks out like you have on that emblem in the front.
Yeah, that might be a
What's it
good idea.
called? Stealth?
11-second eclipse.
Yeah.
Get the stealth badging on
Yeah,
there
that would look good.
because the yellow kind of brings it, would make it pop.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Is there any more pictures?
Yeah.
Wow. Now I remember that place.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've been there. Very nice.
That looks really good. Wonder how long it takes that guy on site to do that wrap.
It's about the same as how long it takes us.
Yeah.
We're roughly 5 days for a full wrap, which actually reminds me, guys. A lot of you guys out there seem to always mention to me that you had no idea that I had a shop. I'm gonna start mentioning this in all of the videos that I do. I do own a detail shop in Florida. So if you're in the Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Miami, Dade area, check out Blackout Tinting. It is right across the street from the Hard Rock Casino. One of the guys that I talked to recently has been watching my channel for years and told me he had no idea that I had a shop down there. So I want to try to get this out there to as many of you as possible, because especially the Corvette guys, when you bring in something and you mention the channel, we're going to take care of you. So if you have any cars that you want to have protected, ceramic coated, window tint, whatever the case is, check out the shop. It's at 5900 Sterling Road. Like I said, right across the street from the Hard Rock Casino. We'll take care of you.
Rudy did the PPF. That's his name. I couldn't think. I wanted to call him Ruby for some reason.
Ruby.
I don't know why.
That's kind of funny. Ruby. What?
What?
Underground Riptile says he's got some crassy splatters on it.
What?
Oh, I don't know. Elijah says, will there be a blackout tinting in California? Probably eventually. I couldn't give you a time frame on that, but as of right now, we have 2 in Pennsylvania and 1 in Florida. So the one in Florida is the one that's co-owned by me. So if you mention the channel, I'm going to hook you up as best I possibly can. So come get some work done. I've had some people, actually Shane was one of them, has had work done at my shop, and he actually had his car stealth wrapped, just like 11-second eclipses. And he had all that done down at the Florida shop, and he can tell you it's good stuff.
He's near Clearwater, Connor. Let's see how far Clearwater is from Hollywood. Clearwater to Hollywood.
DBM says he's been to the shop in Florida and it's freaking clean. Nice facility. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
We pride ourselves on a couple of things. The biggest one is being customer service. The second one is being the show, basically the shop, how it looks, all of the quality that's involved in it. Because basically, if you don't have a nice shop, you're probably not going to have a great install experience because of the way the PPF has to be installed. It's got to be a relatively clean environment in order to limit or reduce the amount of debris that gets under the film.
It's just a couple minutes shy of 4 hours.
Yeah.
Between Clearwater and Hollywood.
Brandon's Garage says, love the stealth PPF wraps. Yeah, they're really something else. If you guys remember my C8 Stingray I had, it was
it's a satin wrap.
Torch red, and it was Expel Stealth.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do a little bit more news here, guys. In the meantime, smash the thumbs up. Smash the thumbs up button. No, can't get my animation to go this time. Yeah, whatever. You know what it looks like. Hit the subscribe button.
Just don't hit it on the screen there.
Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, guys. We do these Monday Night Lives every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, Aaron, AARPM, got his AWE exhaust, so he's going to be putting that on. And like I said, Aaron, take some before and after videos. You're going to, if for no other reason, for yourself, because you're going to want to hear the difference.
Elijah, where do you live at in California? Wonder if he
okay, what's the address? Connor, the address is 5900 Sterling Road. Bill Miller, interesting point on this. There is a video that I saw, and it used to be on YouTube, and I couldn't find it again whenever I referenced this the other day. There was a video of a guy doing a PPF install in a paint booth, which if you're familiar with paint booths, they basically have fans and things sucking the debris out to make sure that nothing gets into the paint. There was a guy that did a PPF install in one of those booths, and at the end still noted a couple pieces of debris under the film. The reason for this is it's not exactly like paint. It has a sticky side. It also creates static electricity when you peel the film from the backing. So it's literally sucking debris onto it. Now, the better installers will limit debris by whenever they put it down, if they see it under there before they squeegee it out, they can actually pick it out from underneath the film. But at the end of the day, the best of the best expel installs will never be 100% debris free. It's the nature of the install. You're gonna see a piece here and there.
You guys do the best. You keep the doors
Oh
closed
yeah,
so that it's all air conditioned.
we do
I mean,
the absolute best to limit it, but it's never gonna be 100%. It literally can't be.
Paul Younker's right. It's like a static cling.
It is. It creates a lot of static when you're pulling the film from the backing paper, and the fact that the backing is sticky because it's adhesive. It's going to capture everything through the wind.
Is it better though if you put it down with water? It kind of eliminates some of that.
Well, I mean, you have to use water on it, but um, let's see.
Brandon, are you working tonight also? Tried to talk DBM into getting a stealth wrap. He has a black CO6. That would have kind of looked nice. You contemplated doing a stealth at one point.
I almost did do stealth on the Z06, and at the very last second, I changed my mind. So I don't remember what. Oh, it was you guys. It was a video I put up here right before I went to pick up the car, and I asked you guys on a poll if you wanted it to be stealth or gloss, and gloss won at 52% versus 48% for the stealth. That's why I didn't do it. But anyway, guys, let's talk a little bit more news. If you guys haven't seen this yet, we did get a new Corvette performance car leader. So Chief Corvette guy. His name is Tony Roma. You might know him. He's actually the head Corvette guy right now currently. It's funny because Amber said to me when she saw it, she's like, "Oh, I thought that said Tony Romo." But
football player.
if you guys aren't familiar with him, I personally believe this is going to be a good fit, because whether you love Cadillac or not, Cadillac is not what it used to be. Cadillac is not your grandfather's car. This is still, and actually, I'm not sure if he's in here or not, but Dad's Garage just recently got a Cadillac. They're performance cars now. They're not your grand touring grandma car that they used to be. It's a better car, and this is going to be a good leader for the Corvette division. So if you guys haven't seen this yet, he is the replacement for Taj Jukter. So good to know that we're getting somebody that's pretty capable. There are a lot of people out there that I was reading that were kind of upset that Josh Holder didn't get this position. And the only thing I can say is I would have been okay with Josh Holder getting it as well, but I think this comes down to an experience thing. I think that's the only reason Josh didn't get it, whereas Tony did. So what do you guys think about this particular selection for this position?
Brandon said he is working tonight.
KP, I did see that. And actually, I pointed out to my wife, I think it's awesome. I think it was awesome that you could watch that live on the dashboard on a car going a ridiculous speed around the track. And here I am at my house trying to do a live video, and sometimes I have problems doing it. Like, sometimes I have technical issues where I can't get a live video to work, but then here's Chevy with a camera inside of a car going 200 miles an hour, and there's no issues. Like, it's crazy to see that.
Did you contemplate getting a Blackwing at one point? I think you mentioned it. It was just a 4-door and you didn't want to do it.
No, I'd still rock it.
Would you do it?
Yeah, those things are awesome.
Lyrics are old people cars. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
He said that on purpose.
I know. Just stop by next time instead of beeping. How about that?
Yeah. Isaac said, is the Zora going to have the ZR1 motor with the E-Ray electric motor in the front? That is the current rumor. Odds are very good that is what's going to happen with it. Yeah, DBM Racing says he turned the Caddy into a performance brand, and that by itself would have been a ridiculously hard thing to do. So if he was able to do that, imagine what he can do for the Corvette brand. I think he is a great selection for this. Uh, let's see. Yeah. Well, see, Bill, this is where the Zora setup may actually be an issue because the Zora setup, of course, is going to have a lot of horsepower in the back in the gas powered engine and then that E-Ray motor up front. But the E-Ray motor is not built to sustain an entire track day. You'll run out of battery power well before you're done with your track day. And especially if you're doing a 24-hour race, you're going to be out of power in the first hour. So after that, all you're doing is slinging around an extra 400 pounds for no reason. So very unlikely we're ever going to see that be the case.
Brand's Garage is looking for a CT5 owners that have manuals. Let's do a pool. Why not, right? Any CT5 owners have manuals?
I thought that Blackwing only came in a manual.
I
That's all I've ever seen a Blackwing in was a manual. Paul Yunker says, Justin, is your Z06 badge in red? No, I ended up not ever changing it. I like the idea of doing it in red. Obviously, I'm a black and red kind of guy, but at the end of the day, the red didn't match the torch red of the calipers, and I just felt like it was going to be too much of a mismatch thing. NBA Live says, I heard this new executive has a lot of racing experience. He does, and that's the next pro I was going to mention, Brandon, is that he's younger. So,
oh no.
Yeah, believe it or not,
That's where this is going.
Yeah, me and Amber we were researching this yesterday because I was like, man, like, I wonder how long Taj has worked at GM because he looks.
Yeah, but it said 47 years, so we're taking that into consideration.
Yeah, he's been there a long time, but he looks really old. So when we pulled it up,
I said mid to late 70s, and that was bad. Bad guess.
I thought he was in his mid to late 80s. He's only 67 years old. Like, have you guys seen Taj?
He looks pretty.
I got to pull up a picture of him because he does not look like he's only 67 years old. This man looks old. And I mean, I hate to say like it's a horrible thing, but at the same time, like,
yeah, he don't look 67.
That does not look like a spring chicken to me, but I mean, obviously he did great things for Corvette and everything, so I'm not going to give him too much.
He's 63.
Well, this is an old article.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 2020 article. You're right.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a more current picture of him. Because like a lot of these are when he was a lot younger.
There are a lot of them where he's been airbrushed in the picture.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this too much because I don't want to sit here and harp on the guy whenever he's done a lot of great things for Corvette. But I just thought he was older than he actually is. Yeah, 11-second Eclipse said he thought he was older too. I mean, 67's not that old, but I mean, man, he looks well into his 80s to me.
Oh, so the NBA Live says CT5B Blackwing is offered in a 6-speed manual and a 10-speed auto.
That makes sense. I've only ever seen the manuals because that's just because that's probably all I'm looking for.
See, Matt Hurley thinks he was older too.
So yeah. Well. Yeah. No, I guess not. I mean, he doesn't look 67. That's all I'm saying.
He's been working at GM longer than I've been alive.
Darren, I thought the same thing. He says GM stressed him out. Yeah, being the leader of the or the chief executive for Corvette just added 20 years to his age or to his face. Many hours on the job, yeah.
He was very well compensated, though, I'm sure.
Oh, dude, I'm sure he made a bunch of money. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about some news here, guys. So, obviously, Tony Roma is going to lead the Corvette and performance cars as Taj Jukta retires. Apparently, they're merging these two things, by the way. It's not going to be just Corvette anymore. It's going to be Corvette and the Cadillac stuff, or the racing division, basically. So, all of the high-performance cars are going to be kind of nestled under him.
That Celestique, did you see on that Cadillac? I didn't realize that thing was almost $300,000.
It's over 300.
Oh, is it really?
And it looks exactly like a Lyric, only more smashed down in car form. Yeah, Brand's Garage says he thinks they're mostly manuals built. They must be because that's all I've ever seen. But I mean, that's not a bad thing. I like that a lot. That's one of the reasons why I like the V so much, or the Blackwing. Thumbs up, guys. We can get to 200. What are we at? 128. We got 24 more minutes. Let's call it 30 more minutes because we did start a little late. Joe Lamb says, Super 8, wow, Taj is only a few years older than me. Wow. Yeah, see, and Joe, you don't look anywhere near that old. So it's like...
It's genes.
I was going to say that there's some... I would have guessed, Joe, I would have guessed you at your late 40s. Like, that's how this stuff works. Taj looks a little older. Joe looks younger. And actually, Joe, we still need to talk about those shirts. I'm sorry, I've been so busy lately. I have had no time to make any phone
And you're
calls,
about to leave again.
and I'm about to go to Florida again. So yeah.
Me and Puppy.
Mm.
He's zonked out back there. He's a real good companion. You know, he talks a lot.
Yeah. All right. So the final thing we want to talk about as far as news is concerned is the ZR1 and the possibility of 3 different AERO packages. Now, the reason why we say there may be 3 different versions coming is we know of at least 2. Well, odds are very good we're going to get a low wing version and the ZTK or high wing version. So that's going to be your regular wing versus that big gigantic wing that's coming on the back of the ZR1. We know this because that's kind of been the case with the C7. That was how it came. We came with a low wing or a high wing option. But what we've seen with these cars testing is that there's 3 different wing styles being tested in the ZR1 platform. So we're assuming that what we're seeing is the ZR1. It very well could be the Zora testing alongside them as well. But if we go over to the mid-engine Corvette forum, this is where we see the 3 options. So these are the 3 wings. Now, this is a user that posted this that said, these pictures must either use the low spoiler as a reference / baseline, or it must be the base ZR1 spoiler and then 2 track options, Z06 / Z07 spoiler as option 1, and full race / possible active aero ZTK high wing as option 2.
I was going to say that last, or the picture closest to us, looks like your ZR1 wing. The one is the Z07 wing, and then that looks like a Stingray wing.
No, that would be the Z06 wing. So we got a Z06, Z07, and then the ZR1 wing.
Is it? Oh, that's right. That looked like whatchamacallit's from I can't think of his name, but he did have a little wing like that.
Yeah, so these are the 3 options that we've been seeing in the car running around testing. Again, it's hard to say with any certainty that any one of these cars we're seeing isn't a Zora. But it's also possible that we are going to get 3 different versions of AERO on this car, because it is possible that, just like with the C7, not everybody's going to want that gigantic wing. I mean, I'm a big wing kind of guy, and we've talked about this before. The ZR1 wing is really big. So how many people really want that on the back of their car? Unless, of course, it is active. There is rumor that it would be active to some degree. But even if it is active, it's not going to reduce its size visibly. It's very likely to only be active to tilt forward and back and possibly sideways, up and down.
DBM, I just seen this Brandon's Fog Race shirt. I think, what did you show me like a week ago?
Yeah, the logo is pretty funny.
It is funny. Crystal did a good job on that. 175 thumbs up. We're really getting it tonight. Thanks, guys.
We don't have 175. No, we got 137.
Oh, Paul, you got me excited.
Yeah, guys, keep smashing the thumbs ups. It helps.
Steve Robertson.
Yeah, so he says GM keeps telling the shop to drive it hard, let it sit overnight. And Steve, that's exactly what I told you on the Discord. Which, guys, by the way, if you're not part of the Discord, check out the link down below. You can actually join the Discord channel. You can chat with all the other people that are on there, myself included, and you can get answers kind of on the fly outside of the Monday Night Lives. But Steve is having a problem with some random misfires on his Z06, and I said the same thing that GM's telling the shop to do. Drive it hard. Take it out, just drive it, and what it will do is actually clear out some carbon. Sometimes if you putt around in these cars, one good example was my ZR1. I had it stored at Blackout Tinning, and every now and then if they needed to move it, they would start it, move it out, shut it off. Then at the end of the day, they would start it and move it back in, shut it off. And they do that a bunch of times. That builds up carbon on the spark plugs. So all you really need to do is take these things out and just give them a good rip.
Kind of like the truck last night?
That's exactly why I did it.
Totally threw me off guard. Just like...
It's been a little while since I drove my TRX. So we went out last night, and I was like, all right, I'm going to give it, a little bit of...
You didn't give me no warning.
Nah, you don't want to give a warning for something like that.
Just a little warning would have been nice.
But yeah, David says it. He says, let her eat. Let her eat, Steve Robertson. And that's the thing, is just take it out and rip it.
The old Italian tune-up.
The old Italian tune-up, exactly. And it sounds funny, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it works. I did it on my ZR1. It worked. It was a thing of beauty too, because I mean,
How about doing it
driving a fast car fast is always a good time.
How about that Father's Day car cruise that you went on for that little kid? He's like, "Can you please rev your
Yeah.
car?"
Well, a kid came up to me at a car show I was at yesterday and asked me to rev my engine. I'm never going to tell a kid no, especially since I sat there the whole time hoping a kid would come up to me and ask me that. And yeah, so I revved it. I actually have a little short that I'll be uploading probably later
He
tonight.
was holding his ears before you
Yeah.
started.
The second I looked at him, I was like, "Are you ready?" And he shook his head. I said, "It's going to be loud, just so you know." And as soon as I revved it the first time, he immediately went like this, like, "Oh, it's funny," but he liked it.
Bill Miller, Justin never gives me warnings. I have to just read between the lines.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I get a warning.
So anyway, guys, what do you think about the ZR1 possibly having 3 different aero setups? It's pretty much guaranteed it's going to have at least 2, but there is a chance it would have a third, like, base option where there is no wing or very minimal wing on the car. What are your thoughts on this?
Dave, nice comment.
Nice.
Paul, what Cadillac did you own? Do you know what kind of Cadillac Paul LaMonica owned?
Oh my God. He said he did it in his caddy, but the guy in my trunk complained. Nice. Navy Blue has a black Z06 coming, it looks like. Very nice. I like how many of you guys seem like you're getting the Z06s finally. GM seems to finally be pushing them through. This car is one that deserves to be experienced as much as possible. So if you have the option to get one, and actually, by the way, if it hasn't been taken yet, if you're interested in a Z06, I have a subscriber that offered it up to the Horsepower Obsessed community, an allocation for a 2024 at MSRP. So if you guys are interested, you're basically living on borrowed time at this point. Send me an email, and as long as it's still available, it's yours. Corvettes of Georgia says, I hope that GM is taking the time to produce the ZR1 means that they're concerned about reliability, also like having multiple wing options. Yeah. Well, I mean, GM is not a company that's going to put out a car that is known to be unreliable. You got to remember the biggest thing about all this, GM has to offer a warranty on these cars. So they're never going to put out a car that they know is not reliable and let you just run wild with it, because they're going to be the ones stuck holding the bill. It's not going to be something that they're going to do. So reliability has never really been a main concern for me, especially with the Corvettes. I have never had any problems with the Corvette lineup. They really seem to know their stuff. Now, of course, longevity wise, I haven't had the car long enough to tell you how it's going to hold up in 10 years. But for the first year of ownership, and even the year I owned my Stingray,
Speaking of,
they're rock solid.
10 years of ownership, you're halfway to 10 years with the ZR1, the C7.
Yeah, this July will be 5. Actually,
next month will be 5 years.
Next month will be 5 years I've had that ZR1.
The longest you've kept a car.
It is the longest I've ever kept a car.
Oh, man.
Darren says, just like with your C7 ZR1, Justin, with the ZTK, I will have to go with whatever version of ZTK the C8 ZR1 has offered. It's going to be very likely to be called a ZTK again with the big wing. That is very likely the option I would go with as well. I sit here and complain about how big the ZTK wing looks to me. I guarantee you that's the one I end up getting. I like the big wings on these cars. I just hope GM does something to counterbalance the aero. And I've heard from a pretty reliable source that the car itself is going to be adjusted to look more fitting of that big rear spoiler or wing.
Jeff is on. It's been a little bit of time since I've seen that name.
Robert says, what would be the 3 different size wings? What would 3 different size wings do to the aero balance of the ZR1? So very similar to the C7 ZR1, we had the low wing, which when you got the low wing car, it also didn't come with front canards. And because of that, it balanced the car out. So it's not going to be, if there's 3 different aero packages, it's not going to be just 3 different wings. The entire aero package would be different to balance the car out differently. So yeah, it's very likely to be very, very minimal aero with a small wing. medium-sized aero, probably Z06 style aero with the middle-sized wing, and then even bigger aero for the large wing to balance everything out.
DBM and Brandon will be in Ron Fellows September 23rd and 24th. Is that your first time going there? Is that their first time going there?
That's a good question. David, have you guys been to Ron Fellows before?
Could you imagine how
Ever Jeff, how you doing? He says, "Hey everyone, hope you're having a good night."
It's
We
been
are.
a while since I've heard that, seen him.
Yeah, Ever Jeff, it's been a little bit, but I appreciate you tuning in as always. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. David says we got 150 thumbs up about. We got 13 more minutes, guys. Please smash the thumbs up. We'd love to hit
more.
We'd love to hit 200.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You got his from Jim Ellis?
No.
Oh.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Wait,
Jim Ellis is the very first dealership that I ever bought a Corvette from.
Yeah. I remember flying down there.
I flew down there, bought my Corvette, and drove it home, and that was the very first Corvette I ever bought.
Pretty much 2 weeks after we got married.
Yeah, it was.
You went and got that. And then we drove it back. Do you remember wrapping that thing in the Walmart parking garage?
Yeah.
We were trying to get out of the sun.
We put some track wrap on.
Did a terrible job.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn about putting track wrap on.
Took us, what, 2 hours? Was it about 2 hours?
Something like that.
Yeah. It was getting dark out, I remember. That was a hot day, too.
Yeah. All right, so one other thing I wanted to show you guys is this. This is the speed shape that comes with the E-Ray, and it's actually pretty cool. So GM has done a really good job at differentiating the cars that you're getting with these special little speed shapes or little design things that you get for buying the car. The Stingray was kind of basic looking. The Z06 had a nice glass base with a slightly more detailed speed shape. Now finally the E-Ray comes on a glass base, but it is clear glass, and it has kind of like the engine and the drivetrain put into it, like some of these decorative little things from jewelry companies and stuff. You could see it's clear glass, but you could see the drivetrain elements in there and stuff. I thought this was kind of cool.
You have your speed shape from the.
Oh, I love it. Paul Younger says E-Ray Crystal Skull. That's pretty good. But no, what this reminds me of, and if you bought the inventory intake, Paragon actually sent these out to you. I'm not sure how well this is going to come. Yeah,
show up good.
So this is what you got in the mail, and it's like almost like a 3D representation of what the inventory looks like on the car.
Don't you have 2 of them?
And I do have 2 of them, but
that's what I thought. Where's the other one?
It's right there.
Oh yeah.
But with that,
pretty cool. I
feel like that's kind of what the E-Ray looks like here, and it's neat. It's kind of a neat thing. I like how GM's doing this, but there's a couple other pictures of it here, and this is one right behind.
You like the glass like that?
I think it's cool. It's different. Like GM's doing a good job of differentiating them. So you can see it in this shot here. It's right behind the Z06 speed shape, so you could clearly see the difference. It's just interesting. And then there it is with the Stingray. So that's exactly what my Stingray speed shape looks like.
It's on the wall behind you.
It's on the wall behind me, but
it is.
I don't know. It's kind of cool.
It is Brandon and David's first time at the Ron Fellows.
Oh, nice. You're gonna love it. It was a great time.
It goes so fast. I remember like taking you to the airport. Then I'm like, wait, I gotta pick you up already.
Yeah, I was only gone for like 2.5 days or 3 days, maybe at the most. Justin, could you, yeah. Let me.
Oh,
it's right here. Yeah, this is the Z06. The one that's on the wall behind me, and right there you can see it, the red one. That's my Stingray, and then this is the Z06 speed shape. So it's just it's slightly more detailed. You can see all the dust on it too. Yeah, that's not great, but it's just got a little more detail to it than the Stingray one on the wall behind me does. So I thought it was kind of cool. I like it. I liked how GM's doing this because they're making it very clear that it's a different model. Because I mean, they could have very easily just kept that same speed shape for every single performance variant. The Z06, the E-Ray, just made it look exactly like that. It doesn't have to be anything special. But GM's doing it a little bit. They're doing it cool. So I like it. Kevin Horan said he just got his in the mail. There's something about getting that. Yeah, I just spent $150,000 on a car and they're sending me this thing that's probably worth, $20 at most. But it's just the thought of it. It's something that you don't get by buying any regular car. Oh, they're definitely going to do it for the ZR1. Robert says he hopes they do it for the ZR1. And if they do the ZR1, they're going to have to do something different, because now they've done something different with the Stingray, the Z06, and the E-Ray. Now the ZR1 can't come out and just look like the Z06 with the wide body. It's got to be something different. So even though I really like what they're doing, they kind of set themselves up for, heartache, because they're going to have to do something different with every one of these cars now. Yeah, Red C8 Z06 says they have to do it crystal, otherwise it would look like a Z06 model. And that's true, but they could have very easily done that. They could have very easily just taken the easy, cheap way out, but they didn't. And that's what I like about what they're doing here. It's one of those little things that just helps you realize you bought something special. You didn't buy a Cavalier. You bought something special. Kevin says, Val thought I spent more money on something. She was mad until I opened it. My speed shape came about, it was either 2 or 3 months after I bought the car. It wasn't too long. 11-second Eclipse says they just send the speed shape. I don't need to do anything. Nope. Your address that you used on like your loan and all that stuff, that's where they send it. And yeah, it'll just come. You don't have to do anything. You do, however, well, no, you don't have to do that now with the 24s. They say you have to create a username and login and stuff to get your 500,000 points, but you don't get it with the 24s anymore.
That kind of stinks. I wonder why they stopped doing that.
Robert, that'd be cool. He says scale model painted in the color of your ZR1 with the same arrow. See, that I like that idea just because I have this, which is my ZR1, literally my identical ZR1, black with red calipers, GTK package. This would be pretty cool to get from GM too. But
instead your wife bought it.
Yeah, my wife bought that for me for my birthday, actually in 2019, right after I bought my car.
What you barking about?
Huh? That Corvette guy says I never received one for my Stingray. I sure hope the Z06 model actually shows up. I'm sure if you called GM, I'm sure that they would hook you up with one. 2020 Matrix says I've had my Z06 for 8 months and still have not. Oh, you haven't gotten it yet? Yeah, Jeremy, I would definitely call GM. I got mine after 2 or 3 months at most. I'd call GM. It's something. To me that's it's not like it's not like you can't enjoy the car without it, but at the same time, I would definitely want this. I mean, technically you paid for it, so I would call GM and see what's going on. Justin, what do you think of the new Stang? Are you talking about the
Kia?
No. What?
I saw one today. There's Kia Stangers. I didn't know.
Are you talking about the GTD? The thing that no one's going to be able to get? Even with that said, if you're talking about the GTD, I like it, but I don't love the way Ford is advertising it, because they're making it sound like it's this great thing that's never been done before, when all it really is a C7 setup, a C7 Corvette setup, because it's got the engine in the front and then a transaxle in the rear to balance the weight. Chevy's been doing that for years, and they're marketing it like it's the first time this has ever been done, and this Mustang is the best thing ever. And it's like the C7 Corvette was already that way. Plus, for the price, it's way overpriced, just like 2020 Matrix said. But for the price, go buy a C7 ZR1. You got a higher top speed. You got a better Nürburgring track time. You got an arguably nicer looking car. I don't get it. I mean, I've never been a Mustang guy, so you're probably asking the wrong guy. But at the same time, the C7, the ZR1 is the better buy. Believe it or not, it's cheaper than the GTD, and you'll have a better chance of getting one than you will this GTD. And you have to be selected to buy it, yeah, which is also ridiculous.
How much does that thing cost?
I feel like that's really just Ford's way of making it artificially making a demand outweigh the supply and just creating a demand where there really isn't one.
How much does it cost?
Last I saw was like 300 or more. I can't even remember.
I couldn't even picture a Mustang being that expensive.
10-year-old vet tech. That's exactly it. I mean, honestly, Corvettes have been doing this for so long with splitting the putting the transaxle in the rear, which is basically just a rear mounted transmission, and they call it a transaxle. It splits the weight, so you have almost a 50-50 weight distribution, which is what the GTD is going after. But Corvette's been doing it. Corvette already did it. So, and you can get it for a fraction of the cost. Yeah, Elijah says the C8 Z06 and the C7 ZR1 are both better track cars than the Ford GT and the Mustang GTD. 100%. Wasn't the GTD supposed to have the engine in the back? No. No, the engine was never in the back. It's a front engine car still. It has a rear mounted transmission, which is called a transaxle. It's just to split weight distribution. So there's more, so it's more of a 50-50 versus, very biased with the the weight in the front. Brand's Garage says it's ugly. I actually, that's, in my opinion, that's actually the only part of the car that I was okay with, was I thought it actually looked kind of cool. But it's not worth the price. The performance is definitely not worth the price. And I just don't get it. Imagine what the markups will be. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the problem we have even with the upcoming ZR1. The markups are going to be insane. And yeah, LT4 powered, the C6 had a transaxle as well. For the same purpose. They wanted to split weight distribution. And the C6 was something like 52, 48, something along those lines, weight distribution. The C7 is the first Corvette that actually hit 50-50 weight distribution. Oh yeah. Kevin Horan says, I finally did launch control on Father's Day. 4 passes, nauseous best time, 2.5. Nice, not bad. 2.5 seconds to 60 in a Z06, street tires. You did that yesterday. So what was the temperature? It would have probably been pretty close to 90 degrees, and he hit 2.5. That is just amazing to me. Yeah, the GTD has a cool suspension setup that you can see through a clear window. The rear wing was falling off at Daytona. That's funny. All right, so guys, like I said, with the ZR1 having possible 3 different AERO kits, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I know which one you're taking.
I'm definitely going the ZTK, which is going to be the biggest, whatever the biggest wing option is, that's the one I'm going for. But it's interesting to me that we've seen 3 different versions of this, when I feel like personally there's probably not much of a chance that we're going to get more than 2 options. So one of those have to be the Zora model. All right, so Kevin Horan did a 2.5 0 to 60 in 90-degree weather, and I'm pretty sure he has Sport 4S tires, Texas Clay. He does have a Z07 package car, but I think he swapped out the tires, if I remember right. That's the only way to do it, man. Clear window, red intake on the HTC Z06. Bill Miller says that he would like a high wing that lowered into the trunk. The biggest reason GM would never do that is because then you can't have your two golf clubs or one Brandon in the trunk. So that is one of the reasons they wouldn't do it. But number 2, honestly, the car without a wing, in my opinion, I think the car looks weird without a wing. It needs to have some sort of spoiler. So if you lower that ZR1 wing into the trunk, then the car looks like it doesn't have a spoiler while it's just sitting there. I wouldn't like that. The surfboard wing, yeah. That ZR1 wing is big.
We had like lunch on it one time, I remember.
Well, that's on mine, but I'm talking about the C8 ZR1. That C8 ZR1 wing I saw obviously at the bash. It's big. It is a big wing. And the thing is like GM has such a problem with getting or sourcing carbon fiber, and then they go and make a wing that's 3 feet deep and it's all carbon fiber. Like it's just sometimes I wonder. Yeah, so Kevin Horan, yeah, he has the Sport 4S's. He says that the cups are for the track later this year. Automatic aero would be, or active aero would be better, is what Paul's trying to say here, I think. I do think we're going to see active aero eventually, but I at this point I'm not 100% sure it's going to be on the ZR1. It could be, especially on the ZTK version. I do think that that wing could potentially be electrically or electronically controlled to go up and down like this and possibly side to side. I don't know if it's going to happen or if it's going to be, it's definitely adjustable. So whether it's manually adjustable or adjustable with the car's turning inputs or whatever, that's to be seen. KP says, what is your take on the latest generation ZL1? There's one I've seen for sale. Looks tempting. It's funny you asked that because yesterday at the car show that I was at, there was 2 different ZL1s that I saw that caught my attention because they are an absolutely great looking car. And if you find one that's a manual transmission for a decent price, I would absolutely buy it. I think that is basically a C7 Z06 for less money. You're getting the same, pretty much the same kind of setup. You got the same powertrain, you got the very similar suspension. Pretty much, it's a C7 Z06.
Is that what Aaron bought?
He bought a ZL1 1LE. They should. I think if they're not doing it for the ZR1, they're definitely going to be doing it for the Zora. The GM has filed so many patents on active aero components for the Corvette that we're going to see it eventually. It's just a matter of time. GM has issues making cool wheels too. Yeah, they do. Especially on the C8 Stingray. In my opinion, those were some of the worst wheels I've ever seen put out by GM. Usually GM had decent wheels on their cars. The C8 Stingray, immediately I needed new wheels. I didn't like any of the wheel options they had. The Z06, the wheels were better, almost perfect if they had had better fitment.
Oh, the Stingray wheels were real bad.
Yeah, I really did not.
Thank God Black Diamond pulled through on that because shoot.
Yep.
They weren't great.
Yeah, 1160 Eclipse says it rained on his way home with the Cup 2Rs. It was scary, very dangerous. I told him in a text thread that when you buy a new car and it rains, it's supposed to be good luck. And I've told him that every single brand new car that I've bought, it has rained on the way home from picking it up. So it's supposed to be good luck.
Oh, we had some serious rain on the Z06, the C7 Z06 when we got it coming home. Do you remember that? It was like North Carolina or something like that.
No, but I
yeah,
just
because that's when the track wrap that we terribly put on started failing.
Paul, I'm kind of curious of that too. He says, who uses their C8 to carry golf clubs? I don't know that I've ever actually seen golf clubs in one of these cars.
Oh, wow.
Everjeff said he had 27,000 miles on his 2020 ZL1 1LE. It was an awesome car. That's a lot of miles to put on that car. Because the ZL1 1LE, one of the guys up at Blackout Tinning just recently bought one, and he stealth wrapped it. It's a black car that's stealth wrapped. And the ZL1 in general looks so menacing when you stealth wrap it in black. It's crazy. It is such a gorgeous car. Texas Clay says, Cup 2Rs are why I didn't get the Z07 package. Heard scary stories about their use in inclement weather. Yes and no. I mean, like 11-second Eclipse will probably, if I had to guess, he'll probably change those tires out. Kevin Horan did the same thing. I would definitely opt for the Z07 package and worry about the tires later. Texas Clay, I looked it up. It is good luck, even for buying a new car. Because it is also good luck to have rain on your wedding day, apparently. And actually, it rained on our wedding day. So
we almost had to have a chapel wedding and not on the beach because of the rain, but it cleared up.
Yep.
Just like what, 20 minutes or something before we were going out on the beach.
Yep. Does your Soul Cats throw any codes? Yes, I had one code pop up from it, but I have not had it since. So I'm not sure if it was just a glitch, because the big thing is when this install was being done, the battery was not disconnected. And Brandon was pretty sure that whenever I started it for the first time after putting the cats on, that I was going to get a check engine light, and I never did. So I'm thinking it might have been a glitch. It might have been something that was kind of in there waiting to pop up, and I finally got it maybe five to 800 miles ago. I had it pop up, and I cleared it, and it hasn't come back since. So maybe. I've been working with Soul Performance back and forth to see what their fix could be if this code does come back, but stay tuned. Yeah, I carry folding lawn chairs as well. I took some of the shows that yesterday. Yeah, 1160 Clip says he'll change to the Pilot Sport 4S. Yeah, it does kind of suck you can't order it with them, but you guys, one thing you want to remember is the Sport Cup 2s, or in this case, the Sport Cup 2Rs, they're actually really good tires. Like, they're for the purpose they're built for. Daily driving, not so much, but on the track, they're a good tire. So I would not ever want to permanently remove them and sell them. I would hang on to them if I were you for the potential of ever going to the track if you plan on ever doing that. I'm still looking for a set. One of my subscribers sent me a message and they had a set available, and it's like, I'm just, I don't have $2,000 laying around for new tires right now, so I was hoping to get something decently priced, but Matt Hurley said he had check engine lights with his Z06 with the Soul cats and Fab Speed or Soul. Oh, both different cats. So Matt, how long did it take for those codes to pop up when you got a check engine light in either situation? Was it pretty instant after you did the change? Like, how long did it usually take for them to pop up? Yeah. I don't really care about golf clubs either, but the average age is 64 years old for owning a Corvette, so they care more about golf clubs, I guess. Somebody said something about that to me the other day, that I was really young to be a Corvette owner, and I'm like, I hate that there's a stigma like that involved in this, because the biggest reason why you see older people that own Corvettes is because these things aren't cheap, and most young people can't afford a $150,000 car. The only way you get to the point you can't afford that is after you're old enough that you've paid to put your kids through college and all this other stuff, and you have some extra money laying around because you're not, paying for your kids and whatnot anymore. Then you buy the car you've wanted for the last 30 years. That's one of the reasons why you see older people driving Corvettes. Every now and then, a younger person gets the ability, or has some sort of money to purchase these cars. I consider myself pretty lucky that I can afford a car like this. But I mean, that's why a lot of the Corvette owners are older. Okay, so Matt Hurley said with the Soul Performance cats, his check engine light came on after 50 miles. Mine took over 1,000 to come on the first time, and I have about 500 to 800 miles on the car now since then, since I cleared it, and it still hasn't come back. So if his was coming on after 50 miles, that might not specifically have been triggered by the cats. It might have been something with the exhaust. Yeah, Dave said he swapped his Cup 2Rs for the summer using his 500,000 GM points. That's good. Were you able to buy those tires through GM with the GM points? Because I had one of my other subscribers contact me and say that the dealership was fighting them on using the GM points to buy new tires, because the GM points apparently had to be spent on something that GM sells specifically, like a GM product, not tires. So let me know if you were able to buy tires with those points. Huh. All right, so 2020 Matrix 8 says he gets a check engine light every 100 miles with his Soul cats. And Jeremy has the same exact cats that I do, the same updated ones. So that's really weird. Why would you get it every 100 miles? I haven't had one in 500 to 800 miles. I'd have to check exactly how many miles I have on it since, but it took 1,000 miles for it to throw the initial code. Huh. Yeah, the C8 generation has attracted a lot of younger buyers, but here's the thing. Attracting a younger buyer and having a younger buyer actually buy the car are two different things, because if I can rewind back to even 10 years ago, in my late 20s, there's no way I would have been able to afford a car like this. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I would want it. I mean, I want all kinds of expensive cars that I can't afford. Just because I want it doesn't mean I can afford it. And that's the big thing, is the older crowd can afford this car. Bill Miller says, Justin, with the cats you have, are you afraid of emissions inspection? No, not really. Most people will look past that kind of stuff, but with the newer cars, they don't really use a tailpipe sniffer. So as long as they can visibly see the catalytic converters in there, they'll pass you as long as you don't have a check engine light. That's true. So Jeremy also has the ported throttle bodies and a different style exhaust. So it could be one of those other things causing it to trip more often. But guys, thumbs up if you could, please. We're running pretty low on time here. I'd like to get as close to 200 as possible. I don't want to keep you guys all night here. I can tell Amber has kind of mentally checked out already. So yeah, if you guys liked what you saw, please smash the thumbs up button. Check out the NCM insurance up here. The link is in the description down below. Check it out. See if it will save you any money. Odds are good it's going to, and it's not going to be just a couple bucks. It's going to be a lot. So NCM insurance, check out the Discord link in the description down below so we can all chat and have a conversation outside of just the Monday Night Lives. Check out the giveaway down there as well. Get entered to win that Z06. Worst case scenario, you only spend 20 bucks. Best case, you spend $20 and you win a $150,000 car. But yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, guys, thanks for the support as usual. We will see you next Monday night, same time, same place. We're wrapping this one up for tonight. So smash the thumbs up. New Horizon. Sorry, I didn't see that comment before, but definitely get a Z06. And if you do, let's talk, because there's a lot of awesome stuff to do with that car, and you're gonna love it.
My grape drink is hitting me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Holy crap. Okay, so she had an entire glass of wine. That's what's going on over here. LT4 Powered says HPO doesn't really do inspections / emissions anyway. Every single time I make a video, and if my inspection is out of date by a day, LT4 Powered comments and be like, yeah, nice inspection sticker.
He's got like 3 vehicles right now. That
yeah, it's hard to keep them all up. Actually, I have 4 now.
I mean, LT4 Powered, no, he doesn't.
Keith French, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. You guys are awesome.
Gotta watch out for those local cops. He's on here tonight.
Yeah. Of course, everything I do is totally legal on the cars. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Anyway, guys.
Next time instead of beeping.
Guys, we'll see you next Monday night. Same time, same place.
Good night.
See ya.